Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And for more information about this show and the rest of Chor Leoni's season, visit chorleoni.org and subscribe to our newsletter, The E-Roar.
This episode of Chor Leoni Inside is proudly sponsored by Ed Friesen and Vincent Carey, our dear friends.
They say it's all right. They say it's all right. Say it's all right. Have a good time, 'cause it's all right.
Hello and welcome to Chor Leoni Inside. My name is Eric Light. I am the artistic director of Chor Leoni Men's Choir here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and so glad to have you with us. We have a fabulous guest today, Sofia Söderberg from the amazing Svanholm Singers, a male choir from Sweden. We'll be hearing quite a bit from her and from them later on. But I want to get right into playing a little bit of Chor Leoni for you here. This is by one of our good friends in the choir and someone whose work we sing relatively often, the great Irish composer Michael McGlinn. This is a work called August, and the text is by Francis Edward Ledwidge. It is... It's really, I'm playing this piece at the wrong time of year. It really is this lovely little piece that Michael has written that talks about those waning days of August as summer just begins to peak into fall. But I wanted to explore a little bit of warm weather because I know most of North America has just been blanketed with some cold. So we will turn our eyes towards summer and our ears towards Michael McGlinn's beautiful music. This is his work, August, sung by Chor Leoni Men's Choir.
She'll come at dusky first of day, white over yellow harvest song. Upon her dewy rainbow way, she shall be beautiful and strong. Amid the sky of blue shall spray
That was August by Michael McGlinn, sung by Chor Leoni Men's Choir a few years back. I just love that piece. I know it's the wrong time of year for talking about summertime and August turning into fall, but I couldn't help myself. I want a little, at least a little thought about warmer weather. I am so privileged to have joining me today Sofia Söderberg, who is the conductor of the Svanholm Singers from Sweden, one of just the great male choirs of the world. Welcome, Sofia. It is lovely to have you here.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Could you just tell us very, very quickly just a little bit of background on Svanholm Singers, who they are and how they came to be?
So shortly, it's a choir from the beginning from Lund, the town where I'm also from, a university town in the southern part of Sweden. But now we also have members from towns all around, and we have been active for since 1998. So the choir had 20 years jubilee 2 years ago, and I have been the conductor for the choir for 20 years now. So I started after 2 years, and I will have my 20th jubilee this year.
Congratulations. I want to play a little bit because have you? No, I don't know the answer to this question either. Have you toured to North America, the United States, or Canada ever with the group?
No, never. Actually, we have been in very many places. I think we have been to Asia a lot and around Europe, but never to the States, no, or to Canada.
Well, when life comes back online, we'll have to figure out a way to fix that. Until then, I want to play some of your music so folks who don't know you get a chance to hear you. Farmer's Broodpolska. Can you tell us about this piece? Give us a little bit of the background and how you all came to sing it.
Yes. So this is a traditional tune, a Swedish tune, and farmor, it's grandmother, and polska is a dance. So it's a song, very easy, very simple, without words, but hopefully with some rhythm in it, some Swedish folklore rhythm.
It's a wonderful piece and a wonderful video that you've made. This is Farmer Broodpolska, Svanholm Singers, Sofia Söderberg conducting.
Thank you.
That was Farmer's Broodpolska, Svanholm Singers from Sweden singing that work. That is so fun. I have to do that piece. I love it.
Yes, you should. I would be happy.
I will. What is the general breadth of the repertoire that you are focusing on with the group? Certainly that had roots in folk music, but you do a lot of different kinds of music. Is there a focus for the group, or is it very broad in your tastes?
Well, I think it's quite broad. When the choir started up, I think they were singing a lot of the classical repertoire, and I wanted to experiment a little bit more. Maybe I tried to find modern music and also folkloristic music, because I love these songs and tunes that have been sung and played for so long time without any composer writing it down or telling you what to do, but have been in the hearts of the people and has just been passing on through generations. So I think there is something in the mood of those songs that I really wanted to transform to the choir and to find a new way of singing the folkloric style. Therefore, I have done lots of arrangements in this kind of inspiration from the folk style. But also, I figured out quite easy that it was not easy to find modern music for male choir. Because the composers are not writing so much for male choirs because there are not so many male choirs. And this is like a bad circle, because if you don't write music for male choirs, then the male choirs will not exist because they have nothing to do. So one thing gets to the other. So we have tried to, I write a lot myself. And we also have tried to commission some things. And also 1 year we started a big competition. We got raising money for this, and we could invite composers from all over the world. And that was wonderful. It was in 2012. And
it's just so good. I agree with you that there is choral mixed choral music is a huge amount of music, and we have kind of music from the Renaissance and then nothing until the 19th century, but then of course in places like Sweden and the Baltic countries where both really fine composers and really fine choirs, male choirs, came together, there's been the real flowering of that repertoire. And I think probably no composer has been as important to male choral music as has Veljo Tormis. And I know that you have had the chance to work with this great master. Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with that amazing composer?
Yes, I will. So when I started as a conductor for Svanholm Singers in 2001, I was like, I adored his music. It was like fantastic. It was like diving into a treasure, a cave of treasures or something like that. And so we did quite a lot of his pieces. And then some years later, in 2004, we recorded a CD. And we had some of his pieces on the CD. It was a Christmas CD. We called it December. And after it was, we finished the work and we had the CD printed. So I took one CD and I sent it to him. And then some weeks passed and I opened my mailbox and it said subject Veljo Tormis, and that was not at all anything with that. So it was totally normal. So I opened the mail and then I realized it was not subject Veljo Tormis. It was from Veljo Tormis. So I wrote me a mail. So I was like in shock. And he said, thank you for the CD. And thank you for the music, because I had also written some music on the CD. And he was giving me compliments for this. And I was like in heaven because I had a mail from him. So I answered, and I, of course, my dream was that he should write something for us. But he was totally, he had decided himself that in the year of 1999, he would not write any music anymore. And yes. I think that he was that kind of person, because he said, no, I did what I did, and my work is done, and I have nothing more. I don't want to try anymore. I have nothing more to give. And I think that this was, he did not tell me this. This is my own theory, that it was because so much of his music was like a protest for the Soviet Union occupation of Estonia. And through his music, he was sending like secret messages to the people of Estonia. And this music was like so important for them because he had been educated. Shostakovich was his teacher in Moscow. He was educated there with Shostakovich as a teacher, and that was in the 50s. And he told me that every day he heard the military marches on the square, the Kremlin square, the red square, where outside Kremlin, the red basilic mosque. And he also heard when there were alarms, and he also had memories from the war, from the Second World War. And to him, during this time, during the Soviet Union occupation, there were also professional choirs in Estonia, because this was a good thing. A good thing with the communist system was that they were supporting very much choirs and orchestras, and people could sing as professionals in big choirs. And they had in Estonia, which is a very small country, they had a professional state choir with 80 male singers. This was only the male choir, and then they had mixed choir and female choir. So that was just fantastic. And I asked Tormis at that time, I asked him, can we do a cooperation? And do you want to write for us? He said, I don't want to write for you, but we can do a cooperation. And what we did was that we premiered the male choir version of the wonderful work, Curse of an Iron, which is one of the most rich and wonderful works I know for choirs. And he came to Lund and he played with us on his drum.
On the drum.
A real shaman drum. He had a real shaman drum which had been used in rituals, I think. So it was just fantastic. And then we did the CD, and then he invited us to Tallinn. So we came to Estonia, and we went to his home where he was born in Kuusalu, which is now a museum. And after that, he came on the World Choir Symposium in Copenhagen. He came the last time and he played with us on his shaman drum. And that was typical for Veljo, because then he said, like he had done in 1999, he said, I'm putting the pen down. I don't want to write music anymore. He said after this concert in 2008, this is my last concert. I will not play the drum anymore. Wow. Now I will give the drum to someone younger. So we did the last concert with him. So that was amazing.
Wow. So please tell us about Coxy Pudendus, this work by Veljo Tormis that you're singing so beautifully on this performance.
Oh, thank you. I think Coxy Pudendus, it's a double dedication in two parts, but I think maybe we will listen only to the first. I don't know. It's a wonderful piece, actually, and it's so varied, and it has so strong. It's so expressive. To say when the expression is so strong, and this is really about the same thing that so much of Tormis music, because it's about a person who wants to say something, but the words, it does not exist. There is no sound. You want to say something, but instead of words, it's just like a scream. And I think that's the picture of living in an occupied country where you are not allowed to speak out freely.
It is such a powerful work, sung gorgeously by Svanholm Singers. This is Coxy Pudendus by Veljo Tormis.
Irte land och tagslanda irte ankest. Miskulvegen merelaine kerki sydamest. Irte land och tagslanda irte ankest. Miskulvegen merelaine kerki sydamest.
Ühte laulu tahaks laulda ühte ainukest, mis kui vegev merelaine kergib südamest.
That was Coxy Pudendus, part of the double dedication by Estonian composer Veljo Tormis, one of the great writers for male choirs of all time. And I think, Sofia, you and I both share an enormous passion for the work that he has done, not just artistically, but also socially. It is really, really quite stunning. And what a gorgeous performance. So powerful. Thank you for that. I want to ask you a little bit about your own arranging for the group. You're writing a lot of compositions and arrangements for the group. Is there anything particularly special when you're writing for these voices that you know so well?
Well, I try to think of that it should be hopefully a little bit challenging for them as well. I think sometimes maybe they do not agree, because sometimes it's just so effective to use like second basses on a long tone and so on. But exactly. But I think it's very. I try to really use the range of the voices that we have, because it's so rich. It's rich with male choirs, richer than often than mixed choirs. So
yes, surprisingly so. Yeah. I want to play this work, Hos Intro. Tell me what this work is about. Is another very interesting video and performance as well.
Thank you. Well, this is quite. It's a funny story, a history, I think, because there was a swimming hole in the town where I live. And they had to close it because there was something was wrong with the swimming hole, and then they did a big renovation. It took a long time, and then they should do a reopening of this swimming hole. And they said maybe you could come and sing during this reopening. So I thought, oh wow, what could we do then? So I decided to write. Like a fanfare or an intro for this opening. And in the swimming hall, there were like starting, how do you say, when you are competing in swimming, you have to dive in. What do you call it in English? You dive from starting...
like the starting block?
Yes, starting block. Mm-hmm. So there were like 10 starting blocks on one side of the pool. And then a big jumping tower with different trampolines. So I decided to put myself on the other side of the swimming pool, and I was doing this introduction, which is a traditional way of singing, Swedish traditional way of herding singing, when you call the animals, actually, because the animals are out. In the forest in summertime to eat, and then when you are calling them, so you are using a very high pitch of the singing, which is very, very strong. So I did this intro from one side, and then I gave them the notes, and then we started the intro like a fanfare, and they were standing on the starting blocks, and
cool.
as soon as we had and as soon as we had finished, and I did like this, we're ready, then they were on one side, boom, diving into the swimming pool. So this was part of the performance. Yes, it was part of the performance. And then we had a soloist, and she came up in one of the trampolines. She came out, and she started to sing. She was a high soprano. So she started to sing from the trampoline. And then we had some, floating things in the pool. So in the swimming pool, so my singers, they were lying on the water, floating like this, and then they sang a serenade from the water. It was very nice.
This is somewhere between like a Busby Berkeley thing and Cirque du Soleil. This is fantastic. I wish I would have been there. And I think this is about the only choral piece I know that has been like dedicated to a swimming pool. This is a first. This is a first for me. This is a wonderful piece and a wonderful video. Unfortunately, we won't see all the things that you just described, but this is Hos Intro, sung by Svanholm Singers.
Thank you.
That was Hos Intro, Svanholm Singers singing. That was a beautifully put together video as well. I did miss some of the trampoline stuff and the diving in the pool, but you know that's all. That's all right. I want to ask you. I don't love dwelling on this. I think right now for folks, but I just wondered if you had any. We're all in this pandemic at the moment, and singing, I know also in Sweden has been curtailed. Has this time given you this formata time given you any moments to like rethink a little bit about why we do and what we do? Has it given you any different perspectives on your art and your craft?
I don't know if I should say that it is different, but maybe that my conviction, you say that conviction of is getting deeper. Like I think that singing is not only about singing, not only about music. I think that music is about life. And I have started because I have been into these questions for quite a while, for many years. I have been reading articles, and because I think that everyone who is a musician every now and then is thinking, have feelings of doubt. Why am I doing this? What is it for? Is it good? Is it do we need this, or is it just for fun? Is it just for amusement, or do we have something? Is there anything that is more important? Is there a depth in what we are doing? Actually, I started now. It's kind of my dream project. So I have started to write about these questions because during Formative, I have every now and then had the opportunity to talk to do some talks and to do some lectures in these questions. But I think that we humans had not been what we are today if we did not have the possibility to make music together. I think that in making music, we open up the emotions, and when we open up the emotions, we also we are able to feel with others. We can be empathetic people present, and because of the empathy between us, we can work as a group. And if we had not been in a group, we had been nothing. We had not survived. What I'm now trying to write about is that this is so important, and it is important for everyone who is a human that have the possibility, the chance to once in their life explore the way of doing music. And the easiest way to do this is with the voice, because everyone has the voice. It is free and you can use it, and you can use it. Everyone can use it, even if it's not fantastic, even if some singers are better than others. So everyone has it. So I think that this pandemic time has given me a deeper conviction of understanding how important music is to us as humans. But I'm also afraid, because I'm afraid of that in the times that we are living now. There are so many other interests which are like big companies, big political questions, and fake news and everything that is not about art, and that is about earning money, and money is only a construction of the getting this wheel turning around, I think. So
Right.
I think that music is something much, much, much more important, because there is not one culture in the world of humans that do not have music. And it talks for itself, I think. But it's very interesting to look into these questions and to exemplify them, and to find histories, and to find a bit of research from the scientists. What do they say, and what can we prove, and what can we not prove? So yes, but I am sad because of the pandemic, because I miss my choirs, I miss the music, I miss my friends, I miss people. So
and I think so many people that I'm talking to, and I've been feeling this as well. We're all those of us that are asking these questions of ourselves. We're coming up with. We're having this time to reflect and to think and to reassess what is important and what is not important in our music making, and come back redefined. I know that I'm doing that, and as I'm doing that, I'm gaining a greater appreciation for what choirs and what singing is. But then on the other hand, it's the one thing I can't do. So it makes me sort of miss it more. I realize like how important it is and how it's not in my life at the exact same time. And I've been finding that very, very hard personally. And I hope that you find some clarity, but also, take heart, and we'll get through this and come out the other end all the stronger. Thank you for sharing that. I turned the page a little bit. I want to play one more piece from your fabulous group, Svanholm Singers, and this is an arrangement of "Wake Me Up." I think a lot of people might recognize this tune. Can you tell us how this song came into your repertoire, and a little bit about this arrangement and how you sing it and why?
Yes. First of all, I want to tell you about. I have been very lucky, because in Svanholm Singers the last year we have had composers as well, and one of them is Henrik Dahlgren, who is educated in Malmö Music School and also has done his master in Aberdeen in Scotland, and who is now on a doctor's degree, working on a doctor's degree. And he is a really, really exciting and very good composer, I think, very upcoming, and he's doing lots of good music. And he decided very early that his focus should be mainly on choirs. So he is a choir composer, a real choir composer. And I am lucky, because he is a singer in Svanholm Singers as well. So he has done a lot of music for us, and many original works. And for the next coming season, whenever it comes, we have a commission work for him as well, when he will do a piece which is about now I cannot find the English word, when you are feeling when you're have bad mental health. We say it in
yes, yes, depression or mental health issues, or
Yes, and especially through the perspective of young men. And he has been written already many other pieces which I would like to talk about, but this specific arrangement he made as a tribute to Avicii, Tim Berlin, who was one of the greatest musicians, Swedish musicians ever, I think. He reached like enormous popularity.
Just huge,
And, yes, he was huge, and he was genius. But he was also very young when it started, and he was under great pressure, and he did not.
Yes.
It was too much for him, and it was so sad when we got the news that that he took his life because he could not stand anymore. And then Henrik decided he wanted to tribute him, and he did it through this song. And he took, and I think it's a wonderful way of doing a tribute, because he took this very upbeat disco, techno, whatever.
Sort of has like a country vibe to it. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
As a choir, I don't know what I should call it. But he took it and made it soft and soft and choir-like.
It's a very it's a wonderful arrangement, and also a terrific story as to why that happened. I want to play that for everybody, but before I do, I want to thank you so much for being with us, for sharing your extraordinary work and your extraordinary perspective. This has been just a real treat for me to get to know you just a little bit, and I hope we can maintain our bonds of singing in male choirs from all this distance over in the years to come.
Yes, I hope so too. Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you for inviting me. It's been a great pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. This is Wake Me Up by Avicii, sung by Svanholm Singers.
I don't have any plan.
That was an extraordinary arrangement of Wake Me Up by Avicii. This is Svanholm Singers singing that work. And I just want to thank Sofia for being with us again. It was lovely to chat with her and to share their incredible music. I want to bring in one of my good friends and our producer and director, Phil Jack. Oh, Phil.
Hello, Eric.
Hi there. It's good. It's good to have you here. Thank you for a great show. We're in the midst of putting together yet another digital concert, and this one's going to be our a full concert that we did of a live event. Our Sea Songs and Shanties collaboration with the group Nef from Montreal. That was a year ago. It was our last concert that we did before the pandemic hit. I don't think you or I knew that was going to be it for a while back then. How's it feel a year on revisiting some of those sea shanties, which are now all the craze with the kids on the TikTok?
TikTok. Yes, TikTok. What is TikTok? I don't know.
You're too old, man.
Yeah. It's actually kind of incredible to imagine that was only a year ago that we did that concert.
I know. It's crazy because it feels about 4 or 5 lifetimes ago. The digital concerts, we've been filming these concerts for Chor Leoni, and I don't think you or I realized like how valuable they were going to become. Our digital concerts have been really popular. Our Christmas one was like viewed by like 7,000 different households, and it was a really big deal. So I'm excited to see what this concert full of just sea songs and shanties and this amazing collaboration is going to do. You and I have talked also a bit about how we're going to just continue doing digital concerts when we get back into the real world. How do you see this like connecting with people in a different way than maybe what we had before?
It's pretty remarkable. We never really imagined that what we thought was sort of a stopgap or, we're doing the best we can kind of measure turned into something that had a life of its own. And it's quite clear that digital concerts, especially the way we're putting them together, not as like a sort of live televised style event, but as a curated specifically for a digital platform, it's quite clear that it's something we should do, and maybe even we probably could have been doing it earlier. It's become very clear that it's very important and meaningful in ways that are separate from our live performances.
For sure. There's no substitute for that live event, and I think we're all itching to get back to it. But it is an important, I think, way of communication. And I think you and I, it's been fun having the conversations of how we take, what is designed as a live concert. And there are quite a few changes in pacing and how we're setting all of this up and in how long the concert is, et cetera, that translate, I think, better into this medium for how people are at home and I don't want to say consuming it, but are engaging with this music. And it's kind of a different art form, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like YouTube and other platforms like that give us the opportunity to create something that is what I think of as portable. It's a package. You can take it with you. You can watch it any way you want, and I think you as an audience member, you react differently to it that way.
Well, our concerts that we're doing digitally have all been free. This one is no different. If you look down in the description, you will see the link to the Chor Leoni website where you can you can register for the free RSVP for this digital concert. It'll be shot in beautiful high def. I'm doing the mix for this. I just think people are going to have a wonderful, wonderful time with this music. And I want to play the little trailer that we have for this that Phil has made right now.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her. The voyage is done, so go on shore, and it's time for us to leave her.
We hope you join us for Shanties, our Sea Songs and Shanties collaboration with the Montreal-based group La Nef coming up here in March. Please do register on the RSVP in the links below. And we will be back actually in 2 weeks with Sean Dager, who you heard singing in that clip, who's the leader of La Nef, and we will be talking about that very project. Everybody, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you next time.
They say it's alright. They say it's alright. Say it's alright. Have a good time. 'Cause it's alright. Whoa, it's alright. Now we gonna move it slow. Up in the lights low.